Chief X God, best reincarnated with some old common sense science. I'm just here with my friend, 26, excuse not 26, 17-year friend and ex-girlfriend, Dana. And Dana is a special ed assistant for Los Angeles Unified School District of 26 years. I didn't say 5 years, 10 years, 26 years, all as a special ed assistant. So it don't get no, like, better than that. No one knows the special ed system better than someone who's been there 26 years in Los Angeles, in the inner city. And we're talking about the school to prison pipeline and how it affects the kids. And what the school and the employees of the school have to do with it. Right? So Dana here is very wise on it.
I don't know shit.
And I knew she could bring some clarity for folks so folks can have some understanding. I also worked for LA Unified, but just for 1 year, way back in the mid 90s. I didn't know you did.
No, we met in 2000.
You good for remembering the date?
I remember. April 2000.
So Dana married 26 years in special ed for Los Angeles Unified School District. Los Angeles, home of the body bag, home of the original gang bang, right? It started here. This is how Prison to Pipeline jumped off before it was titled School to Prison Pipeline, because kids was gang banging. The crack era came, the crack epidemic. They started instituting policies. The system did, not the school, not the employees, not the administrators. The system did. The system is bigger than the teachers and the administrators. Okay, first I want to clarify, she's a special ed assistant. They have teachers and they have admin. So, in your opinion, Dana, what is considered school admin?
Principal, assistant principal, psychologists, some counselors, and they're also considered support staff. In crises, they all come through for staff as well as students to support.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, she's basically saying principals, vice principals, psychologists, support staff, and things like that. These are called people like you and me who's trying to make a living, feed their family, and go home. The employees just want a job. They're not part of some nefarious scheme of the government and the court system and the police to funnel kids to school. So my thing is, I said I don't like the phrase school to prison pipeline, because people hear the word school, and they don't know how to correlate it. They hear school, and their mind automatically goes to who works at the school, and finger pointing and blame when the school employees have nothing to do with it. The school administration and principal and the teachers and the staff are employees trying to do a job. Now, school services, teachers and admins don't set up. That's a system superintendents and staff way above them set up. So if a kid gets in trouble at school or needs services, teachers and admin only can look to the services that are available for them through the guidelines of LA Unified School District. They don't just make up their own services and call some nefarious people. It's a system set up, and the teachers and admin look to that system for services that the system has set up and provided. They're innocent. So, if a kid in school gets in trouble in class, he's disruptive, Who was the first one called, Dana?
The principal.
The principal's called.
Mm-hmm.
And he is told what? Like, what's he told?
That this student is misbehaving. Depending on what they're doing, I mean, some schools have security or a campus aide to come to the room. You can call for that assistance. You can write up a referral. They will escort that child to the office, let the principal know what's going on, and they'll take it from there.
And my understanding is you have to remove the kid from the class of other kids who's doing right. For what reason? He's being
Yeah, they could harm other kids. I've been in classrooms where kids are throwing chairs, flipping over desks. I mean, doing stuff like that, and they need to be removed from the classroom.
For the safety of
the safety of others, us, as well as other children.
Then that kid is removed. Who's removing the kid from the class?
Campus security, or one of us, special ed assistant. Usually one of us teach. Anybody could remove that child. Like if we don't have that support where somebody could come get that child, usually we have, like my school, for instance, I work at elementary school. We have campus aides who can come. We can call. Can you please? They have their little walkie-talkies. Can someone please come and get this student? He's misbehaving. He's disrupting the class. We can't get back to what we were doing because this kid has pretty much lost it, and they'll come and escort the child with a referral.
Okay. So that's a disruption. It's a bad behavior in class, and the school deals with that. And the school security guards, or what's the other thing they call
Campus aides.
Campus aides come get that so they can resume normal activities in the classroom. Mind you, she never said police, the school police. When do the school police get involved if the kid commits a what?
A crime.
Okay. So the school police only gets involved and will come get a kid if an actual crime has been committed. Just like you commit a crime if you walk on a liquor store, the police come get you. So the teachers have nothing to do with getting kids involved with police arrest. Do the school exhaust their efforts trying to help a kid?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I've seen it over and over again. Same kid, same issues. One kid stabbed another kid in the head with a pencil. He was able to come back to school the next day. He's able to go on field trips.
So a kid stabbed another kid in the head.
Yeah, and got sent home. For the day. His mom came and picked him up, and he came right back to school the next day. A few days later, he went on a field trip.
So the school actually is caring.
And they protect them. Yes.
The school is protecting these bad kids.
Yes. Yes.
That's my understanding when I worked in the school.
Every day, all day. We don't even understand sometimes why these kids are still in the school, because he harmed a student in a wheelchair at that.
He harmed a kid in a wheelchair and he's still in school.
Yeah.
It's not the teachers and the admin.
No.
Is what I'm telling you. They're trying their best. So I didn't want people demonizing teachers and admin. Okay? So they're protecting the kid. Like I was also saying, a kid getting disciplined or detention and punished is different than a kid getting expelled from kids' class. To get expelled from the school, the kid has to what? Like,
he's leaving the school. I mean,
he had to have done what to be expelled?
A serious crime, like maybe fighting with another student and then bang his head on the cement or something like that. Charges will be pressed, and then he may serve some time in a juvenile detention center or something like that.
If he committed a crime.
Something that's real serious.
Okay. Not just I cussed the teacher out.
Nah.
Yeah.
That's something that's to be handled between the administration. The parents are called. They try to,
So being disruptive and cussing the teacher is not a crime.
No. I see that every single day. It's not a crime.
Okay. When a kid comes to your school, most kids are diagnosed already for behavior problems. Even to my understanding, even before they start school, they're diagnosed. Um, is there a school psychologist always on the campus, or is that something they called? Or
Yes, depending on the school, there are school psychologists on campus. Some are full time, some are part time, some travel from school to school, depending on the campus and the need for the psychologist.
right? And usually, there's not even a police stationed at the school.
Nah. Mm-mm.
There's not even a police station at the school, but they have school police, and they're readily available if called. They sometimes they just drive around the school.
Yeah. And just like with
premises.
those walkie-talkies, they can contact school police. They don't even really have to call a number. They can contact, the campus security and the support staff. They usually have walkie-talkies and they can contact the school police.
So in general, police are not called unless it's uncontrollable for the school security and campus aides and a crime is committed. So what we're saying is overall, the school is protecting the kids. So when you hear school to prison pipeline, people are demonizing the school because the phrase gives certain people certain connotations in their head. I've been telling people it would be better if they said kid or children to prison pipeline. Because we understand it is true, and no one's denying that black kids may get discriminated against. Black kids are in prison more than, as far as percentages, more than white kids. Um, they might get twice the punishment and things like that. But it's not the school. When I worked as a youth counselor for a decade, I worked at a place called Vista Del Mar. My phone, man. 1 second, y'all.
Really?
It's 5 o'clock here.
Yeah.
It's 5?
Okay, 4:30.
1 second, fam. Mental dialogue show. What's happening? At 8 o'clock your time? That's like 30 minutes, or okay, so you're 3 hours difference. Okay, I'll be ready. I'm doing a little interview right now. I'll be ready. Actually, I'm gonna call you in 15 minutes. I'm gonna call you in 15 minutes. Okay. So I basically just brought my ex-lady friend, the fabulous, ain't she fine?
No.
And the fabulous and gorgeous Miss Dana. And I had questioned her about these things the other day. And I just wanted her to be here and do a little interview. So give people an understanding of the school situation.
I am not an expert, though. I'm only going by the things that I've seen and things I've experienced in my 26 years with LA Unified School District. Oops, I hope I don't get in trouble.
So, they come diagnosed. If a kid is displaying some mental problems, maybe the school psychologist is called to meet with the kid. Does he change their diagnosis, the school psychologist?
No, that's something the doctor has to do. These kids need to go to see a doctor, a specialist, and a lot of these kids get medication, or it's the parent's responsibility to get whatever that child needs. Now, the school psychologist, the sports, they can suggest, oh, this child's behavior, he's doing this, he's doing that. Why don't you go on and run him to that little medical center over there and get him checked, so we can pull up that IEP and get some meetings going and have you sign this paperwork so we can get this child a diagnosis and get him into special education services.
So mostly the diagnosis fall on the parents.
Yes, absolutely.
The parents agree or disagree what they want their child to go through and accept the
parent has to agree. No child can be in special ed without the parent's consent. Paperwork has to be signed. Meetings have to be had. The teacher has to be in on that meeting. If that child has adaptive PE, that PE teacher needs to be in on that meeting or whatever services. That psychologist and the parent is in that meeting, the principal or our assistant principal. They run those meetings.
Right.
They're called IEPs.
So the school is not just making up shit.
No.
It's a collaboration.
No.
And the mom is basically asking for help for these services.
Yes. Most parents do.
So to me, that would sound like a parent okaying a parent to prison pipeline. Yeah. But it's not even the parent's intent to make them be funneled or start some chart that they being tracked from a elementary school through high school, and then they get in trouble and end up going to jail. It's not the school that's trying to do that. It's not even the parent that's trying to do that. Everything is about intent. So it's a lot of African Americans running around with this school to prison pipeline ideology. And I understand it. I understand unfair sentences. But these things, in my understanding, is a judicial system problem. Is a problem with law enforcement unfairly treating people. It's not the school or administration or teachers unfairly treating these kids. And a lot of the time, the teachers are black in these inner city schools. What's the percentage of black teachers at your school compared to?
I'd say about more than half. I'd say about 60% black at my school.
At your school?
I mean, yeah. Mm-hmm. Staff period. We have a few Hispanic, couple whites, but yeah, majority of our teachers are black.
Yeah. So when they say these teachers are doing some things and are in cahoots, it boggles me, because I have teacher friends, and all these professional black women who went to school and got the degrees enjoy their field. They're not trying to funnel no kids.
We're trying to save these kids. I promise you. None of us want to see our children going down like that. Nah. Mm-mm.
Right.
I have the conversation all the time with my teacher friends, my staff, you know, not my staff, but my coworkers and everything. We talk about that stuff all the time.
Yeah. And like teachers, admin, counselors, they're all friends and get along. They go to lunch together. They do things together. They're not on some nefarious plot, y'all. Mm-mm. In a sense, it's a conspiracy theorist thing. I know the system is real, but when the school is blamed, it's a scapegoating for what the system has set up. Mm-hmm. People are using the school teachers, and admin as a scapegoat for what the system outside that's bigger than them did. You think so?
Yeah. I know so.
Right. So we need to sometimes take responsibility. I was saying that a lot of these kids with bad behaviors come from are crack babies. Not to be mean, but it's just the reality. A lot of these kids have drug addictions that came to your school. Yes. The mothers are on crack. Yes. They have behaviors that can never change because of mental defects. They're going to go to prison. Sad as that is, some of these kids' behaviors are so bad that when I was counseling, I'm sure when Dana was being assistant with these kids, just look at them, yeah, they're going to probably end up in prison. Mm-hmm. Some kids are incorrigible.
Grandparents are raising these kids too. It is a very large percentage of grandparents raising these kids. A lot of these kids come from foster homes because their parents have been on drugs, are on drugs, and it's just
group home kids.
Yes, we've been there. We've been in group homes. You in mental health. Me in this education thing. It's.
Remember the group home I worked at?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, and even the group home has nothing to do with the medication the kids get. Wow. The medication the kids get is by a psychologist.
A doctor.
A doctor.
Or yeah, it can be prescribed. Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. Just for clarity, thanks for your time, and thanks Dana for her information and knowledge and understanding.
You better not post this.
And I'm trying to think of something gonna come up after I hit this stop button. I'm gonna think of something.
I'm about to go home. I'm done.
Tell them peace out.
Bye. Peace out.